And we are live. And Ahmed, this is one of our most anticipated episodes probably ever. I think we've been talking about The Boys, me and you at least, going on 2.5 years now.
Yeah, I got
It's
into the show pretty late, so
yeah,
yeah.
that and Gen V, and it's been a long journey for sure. And there's been a lot of mixed emotions about this finale everywhere online today. I think a lot of people are complaining way too much about it, but as we always do, I want to get your initial thoughts on the series finale of The Boys.
So I definitely lowered my expectations just because endings are not always the best. It's really hard. Like it's great to start. Starting projects is easy. How do you end it? It's always the hard part. And with the immense fan base that this show has, you're not going to please everybody. My initial reaction was I loved it, or I didn't love it. I liked it. I was like, okay, I'm satisfied. Everything started out pretty strong, but there were some things I'm like, I wish they probably could have cut this. They could have made this a little shorter. I don't know if they needed this part. But for the most part, I liked it. I was like I smiled. Whenever I was seeing the teasers from like the castmates, they were like, what do you think people are gonna say? And they were like, fuck. And I was hoping for not that, because the last thing you want is a cliffhanger to a show that's already said we're not making a sequel. We're doing a prequel, but there's nothing left.
Yeah. And I think it's smart to end it here, even though I think there would have been some interesting plot points to cover in Gen V if that was coming back, which it's not, is canceled. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Was it a kind of paint by numbers finale? Yeah, I can definitely see why people kind of feel that way. It was very predictable. I was talking with Gerald today, and he said that yeah, they played it really, really safe. What's up, our friend Damien, who was on with us to talk about Twisters? He is in the chat. What's up, my friend?
What's the same?
Just saying hi and tell us what you think, Damien, about the Boys finale.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see where the criticism is coming from, but I enjoyed it. I think it hit everything it needed to hit to really stick somewhat of a landing.
I agree. I think it ended in the best way it possibly could have. There's a multiversal number of, there's a different bunch of scenarios where this could have gone, different alternate timelines where we could have had a, oh, fuck kind of ending. But we got the ending, and it's the way I was telling my friends who I watched it with. I was like, it's an ending. Let's just fucking move on. There were some folks that were kind of complaining about how Homelander went out like a bitch, and it's like, because he is. You're not supposed to like him. He got exactly what he deserved. I'm sick of these like movies and TV shows that we've kind of gotten used to, Jeff, where the villain is too likable. They did such a great job, and Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander, said as well that he's such an interesting character because you're not supposed to like him. He's likable just enough to where you still remember, oh, he's actually a piece of shit. And that's the problem we've had for shit. I think the last 13 years, ever since The Wolf of Wall Street, we've been having likable fucking villains and played by really, really charismatic actors. And so the fact that we got the ending with Homelander that we did, where Butcher has the last laugh, that really made me happy. The fact that he also cried and was like, I'll suck your dick. It's like, yeah, cry, you little bitch, because in the end, we need to know that the villain, the guy, the bully is not who we thought it was. He's over here saying, I'm God. And the way he treated all these different characters, now he's been reduced to this. Take away all your powers, and what are you? You're not Tony fucking Stark.
No. And I've seen a lot of people say this same point today. Powerful men or people that think they're powerful, when they are faced with life or death, they act just like this motherfucker acted.
Oh
He had
yeah.
everything stripped away from him, and he acted exactly how you expected him to act. And even A Train, the first episode of this season, said, "You're nothing. When it comes down to it, you are just a pathetic, nothing person." And Ryan even said that in this episode as well, his own kid. So I really did like the way that Homelander was taken out, and I was so damn happy when it happened because he's such a hateable villain, and we haven't got that in a long time. To your point, Ahmed.
Yeah, and oh my god, so I'm probably gonna make a couple of Dragon Ball Z references in this episode. Apologies in advance, but also deal with it. You know what you were getting into when you watched this show. Um, Cameron, I can't remember his last name, but Cameron, the actor who plays Ryan. I'm so proud of his journey. I was so happy to see him in the ending. I called it, didn't I? That he was going to make an epic appearance. And I was telling my friends that I was watching this with, I was like, I think Ryan's going to be like Gohan almost, in that he is the one that will save us all. Of course, Butcher had to, use his help. And the fact that like we had sort of a epic takedown of Homelander that we haven't seen since season 3. I wish it could have been a little bit more action packed, but it's Amazon. We underestimate what budget they have, and how long it took to make the show. But I wouldn't have minded if it was longer, like if they wanted to really flesh out the story, because there were certain characters that I wasn't ready for them to die right then and there. Nathan Mitchell, who plays Black Noir, which, by the way, I have his autograph. Remind me to show everybody. The way he died, it just felt like it was too sudden, and it was also like the randomest way possible. But even the Deep got his comeuppance. Like every bad guy got what was coming to them, and the good guys at the end of the day get somewhat of a happy ending.
And yeah, just looking at our comments here, Ahmed, and I agree what Damien is saying, that everybody expects to have like a Breaking Bad like perfect ending to a show. You can't get that. I think this is as close as you were going to get with this show. As far as like the deaths go and the action in this episode, I thought the White House and the Oval Office stuff was great. Like the secret rooms and Oh Father, who I actually did really like. The way he went out.
You didn't like?
Hilarious. Just the gag.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
While we're on the subject of Oh Father, can we talk about that musical number?
Yeah, that was something, right?
Dude, I still can't get it out of my head. Because when I watched it, I was like, oh, freaking David Diggs. Of course he has to have a musical number. Just like Jack Black with Super Mario Brothers. Yeah. But like both of those, I enjoyed them immensely. I honestly didn't even mind the musical number. In fact, I ended up watching it a couple more times. I still have the song in my head. The guys who composed the song, incredible work. But God bless David for like being willing and vulnerable to do it. Just the words. He turned water into wine. What a useless superpower. I'm sure his parents or like distant relatives are watching that and going, David, what do you think you're doing? I call him David because it's Daveed, but I heard some people in the interviews calling him David. So whichever one, but I'm reading it how it's spelled.
Yeah, I would. I've always thought his name was David, so that's what we're gonna roll with.
Okay, yeah,
it just sounds cooler, honestly.
It does.
It really
does. That's another gripe I had with the show. I really liked his character, and I felt he was very underutilized. And that's kind of common with his characters. He always steals, like Mahershala Ali too. They both are really good at like stealing scenes. Or does that make sense?
Yeah, they have such commanding, like, so charismatic. Like they're so
Yeah,
charismatic, like you kind of gravitate towards them. That's how I feel about Mahershala Ali and like everything he's in. Like Jurassic World, the new one, it was like, man,
but he has
putting
such a
him on
small
screen.
role.
Yeah, and it's a very small role, but I think that Daveed Diggs and O Father for a character that came in during the final season of a very established show. I think he did a great job. Even his like relationship with Ashley, and I really hated Ashley for like the
Oh
first
yeah.
3 or 4 seasons. She was even better at the end of the show, even though I did kind of wish that she would have died at the end because I think she deserved it. I think the stuff that I didn't really like in the finale, I just think the Deep should have died maybe like 4 or 5 episodes ago. I think
He
the
probably should
shtick
have
kind
died
of
a
got
couple
old.
seasons ago, arguably. No offense to Chase Crawford, but just yeah, his character sucked. Sorry, I've got something in my eye. Just deal with me while I scratch my eyes. But um, what was it? Going back to different characters and stuff. I want to say one more thing about Daveed Diggs' O Father. He did what very few guest stars can do. The only other person who was a guest star that really stole the show was Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
And both of them I felt like we didn't get enough of.
Soldier Boy, I think, was in this season maybe way too much,
You think
just because
so?
they were setting up the prequel Vought Rising, and he is left in such a weird place where he's just frozen again. It's like how many
Yeah,
times can you freeze and unfreeze this guy? So whatever's going to happen with that show, I feel like we're going to do like a Better Call Saul thing where it's going to be the past, but we're gonna flash forward to the future and after the
maybe.
boys whenever that happens. Like there's really no reason he should have lived, but
Well,
he's still out there, and if they really wanted to continue the world, I think there's obviously avenues you can do it with. It doesn't have to be Huey or Starlight, but you can make a spin-off of what the president said at the end of the show. It's like we need to round up all the soups and do all this stuff. But yeah,
yeah.
there's ways you can go.
And like I do salute the fact that they ended the season when they did.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they could have ended it a little bit sooner, but for selfish reasons, I'm glad they didn't. Just because I was barely getting into the show, like like 3 years ago, and so I'm glad I got to like follow along with the fans like I did when I could. But we didn't even talk about the Supernatural cameo.
I love that episode
I
because
did too.
my wife
Kalam
got me
and
into
all those guys,
Supernatural. Yeah, and I would love seeing Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles together. It's just if he could somehow be in that Vought prequel, I don't think the timelines really line up, but more of them for sure.
But I hate that you thought he was in the Jensen Ackles was in the show too much, because personally, like, he grew on me and my friends were giving me shit because I don't like racists, but I was like giving him a lot of passes, and it's like, no, he's literally from a different time. And it's like, okay, but I don't know. I feel like just the fact that he didn't buy into the whole Homelander thinking he was God. He goes, "You're not God. This is all bullshit." Like, I did kind of see some humanity in him. And that's something that I can kind of fuck with these older racist types. It's like,
Yeah.
you're from a different time where when you were that age, when you started thinking that, everyone else did, and you were a good boy. And nobody's told you, hey, cut that shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people would think Homelander is a masculine man. There are certain people in power that are like the epitome of masculinity. And it's like, wait, hold on. When did we start having arbiters of what manliness is? Like, when was it like, oh, you drink almond milk, you drink nut milk, that makes you less of a man? It's like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah. And Homelander, it was so funny, was it the episode before where he's like, I'm banning all nut milk.
yeah.
He's such a
It's
fucking
like,
weirdo.
wait, and it's funny, but like, you would like, these are actual people that have these thoughts.
Yeah, Homelander is obviously based on a certain orange motherfucker that we know, but it is one of the most memorable villainous performances we've gotten on TV in a long time. And that is a credit to Anthony Starr and how he played Homelander and how there was no redeemable qualities about him. Anytime he was on screen, I thought somebody was going to die. Like,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to laser Huey's head off like at any given point this season.
He had every fucking opportunity.
Yes. So he is like up there with like Walter White for me when it comes to like memorable villains in a TV show.
And let's also not forget though, Butcher wasn't exactly a hero either. And Ryan reminds us of that. Like when you first see him in season 1, he's a scary motherfucker. And like the fact that Homelander and Butcher are like very, very similar, but they both can't stand each other. It's such an incredible like dynamic because whenever Homelander sees Butcher like in the office after he's like just droning on and on, he sees Butcher for the first time. We're seeing a genuine smile on that man's face, and it's almost like he's starting to recognize it. Oh, somebody does love me. The one person I have in my life that I didn't murk, or disappoint. And just everything. I'm sad that Butcher died, but like Huey was still one of my least favorite characters. No offense to Jack Quaid. I'm just saying. I thought Huey was always annoying just because it's like, it's the same reason why I hate Daredevil. We talked about this in the last episode. Sometimes, and I don't mean this literally, I mean this in a superhero sense. Don't come at me. I'm not a fucking, evil person.
You heard what he said. He said he hates Daredevil. So
yeah, I hate Daredevil. But no, I mean in the sense that like, obviously don't be a murderer. Don't be this. But like, just whenever people paint things with a broad brush, like Huey's like, Butcher, you're a monster. You're this. Like, bro, so are you. Like, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't like the fact that Huey got a good happy ending, fine. But the way I described it to my friends, here's another Dragon Ball Z reference, is it's kind of like I said, I was glad that Mother's Milk, I'm glad that he had a happy ending. If Huey was the only one to survive, it would have felt like to me as if Frieza or Cell, Majin Buu, take your pick, killed everybody else except for Krillin.
Yeah.
Like, or fucking Yamcha. you know what I mean? Like, really? These useless motherfuckers? Game of Thrones, bro. Yes. Fucking. You remember that ending for Game of Thrones?
I was actually not a Game of Thrones guy. I just couldn't get into it. Shockingly.
Yeah.
I did not get into it. But
well, so I'll spoil the ending for you. The guy who did literally nothing, literally sat on his ass, and yes, this is a disabilities joke, but but this is also a television show. It's a fictional character, so move on. But literally the guy who sat on his ass, did nothing, is the one who gets crowned he wins the Game of Thrones, whatever you want to call it. He ends up winning. And that's why people hated the ending to Game of Thrones. And so to have somebody like Huey have the happy ending, it's like, fine, whatever. So predictable. But to see MM get a happy ending, like, oh, thank God. To see Ryan,
And that's who I was most concerned about going into the finale was MM. Yeah. I was like, I don't give a shit really who lives or dies except for MM because he is the heart of this show.
He is the heart of the boys, the show and the group. You're absolutely right. And that's another actor who like steals the show and does such an amazing job. Laz Alonso, who plays Mother's Milk. He was in Houston along with Karen, who plays Kimiko, Nostalgic Han. And I was so nervous to go up to them. Like, I don't know why. I was just so nervous. But, like, whenever I got to see Nathan Mitchell, I was, like, really nervous. But he was super chill. He was just like, yeah, dude, just come through. Like, he knew, like, he just knew that I was nervous, so he put me at ease. Here, tell me, what were some of your favorite scenes from this season?
From this season?
I mean, yeah.
The whole season, A-Train's death really still stands out to me. And that's what Damien brought up in the chat earlier, is it was just such a shocking start to the season. I loved, and even though I didn't really like the Deep this season, when Samuel L. Jackson was voicing the shark, and like the Deep is on the pier and he's not saving the guy drowning in the water, I thought that was just like old school boys. Like, this is like the funny dark humor that we got in those earlier seasons. So I really like that. And like the Homelander death scene, I think it stuck. And to finally see him die for real, even though he is such a scary character, I didn't think he was dead immediately. I was like, smash his head, do something, make sure this motherfucker is dead.
Yeah. I liked the fight with Homelander and Ryan just because it was such a God, Homelander's narcissism is just really fucking up there. And I really loved the scene where they were doing like different characters, like backstories, seeing Firecracker's backstory, hell, even Terror's backstory. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, man. The dog stuff has really been getting me the last 2 weeks. I was like, this and the Punisher, I was like,
give
me a break.
Yeah. Well, before I forget, this is Noir.
That's awesome. Let's put it on the full screen. Put it on the full screen, Ahmed.
There we go.
That's awesome.
Fucking glare.
Oh, there's my face on Noir's face. There it is.
Is it working?
That looks awesome. Yeah, you've met a lot of people. A lot of people go to those Houston Comic-Cons for sure.
Shit, I'm trying to interview the cast of Rick and Morty soon. I got to interview Kevin Von Erich today.
Yeah, and then you had Ned's Declassified too, I think.
Yeah, I did. Ned's Declassified. If you guys want to check it out, go to my Instagram at Ahmed H. Sharma. Yeah, you just follow us on Instagram. You'll see me, and you'll see my guy Jeff.
Yes, right. But Ahmed, moment of truth for this series finale of The Boys. What are you going to rate this on the box office QB scale? And what would you rate the show as a whole? So 2 different ratings today.
Yeah. Well, so I'll give 3 different ratings. For the series finale, I'll give it an all-star. Just because it was as good as it could have been. You know, there are a number of ways it could have gone, but this one was the most like, okay, this feels like an ending. I'll take it. You know what I mean? And so the second rating I'll give for the entire series and the show, Hall of Fame. I dare even give it the GOAT status in terms of like the show overall. I think I want to lean into the GOAT status just because this is one of those shows that is going to be, unfortunately, a testament of its time, because the way it is like here in before our eyes with the current epoch that we're in, it's like mirroring reality, much to their chagrin, because Eric Kripke was very clear that he did not like that the reality of life was imitating art. Especially the fucking scene with Homelander and Madeline Stillwell.
Yes.
You know? And then the whole God status and all that other bullshit.
And the golden statue of Homelander was unveiled 2 days before what really happened in real life. So there's some crazy parallels going on. So
I think I'll solidify that GOAT status just because It's going to be something that we're going to talk about for years. Like the way people talk about The Wire, the way people talk about Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. You know, people can be upset about the ending, but people are upset about the Sopranos ending. Guess what? People are still rewatching that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to please everybody. And like the Breaking Bad finale, I still think is the best. But and you can play devil's advocate here. That was kind of paint by numbers too. It's like Walt checked everything off of his list. It was very satisfying. I feel the same way here. We checked everything off our list. Homelander is dead. Butcher is, he didn't make it either. And now we're kind of left in a world where Huey, Starlight get to be happy. But
Yeah.
When it does come to rating this final season, I think I'm just going to give it a starter, which is 3 stars for all our new viewers here. As far as the show itself, I am going to give it probably the GOAT to Ahmed, which is the highest honor we can get, because
it's like our golden buzzer.
Yeah, it's like our golden buzzer. It is, I think, the second best superhero TV show ever made. Daredevil, the Netflix version of Daredevil, I think is still the best superhero anything we've gotten on the small screen. This is right there with it. I'm happy we're still getting prequels, but I was very satisfied with the ending nonetheless.
Yeah, as I texted you actually after watching it. It wasn't diabolical of an ending, which I'm fine with. It was an ending again. Suits had an ending. All the other shows, they have endings. Hell, even Hacks had an ending, and it's like, cool, we're good. You know what I mean?
It could have been worse. It could have been How I Met Your Mother. So
fucking God,
yeah,
yes.
It could have been that. So we're doing okay.
God, why'd you have to bring that up? I was in such a good mood.
Let's depress everybody before we get out of here.
15 years.
Yes. But anything else, Ahmed, you want to add before we get out of here?
No, just Eric Kripke, you did awesome. Don't let the haters get to you. Make more stuff. Jensen Ackles, Anthony Starr, all the cast. Like, you guys did great. Carl Urban and just, oh my God, everyone did a fantastic job. Hopefully this is not the last time we'll see them.
I echo everything Ahmed said. Great episode. Can't wait for what we talk about next, which I don't know yet. But this has been another edition of Box Office Quarterbacks.
Bear's coming soon.
The Bear, the final season of The Bear. We are just hitting all the series here. So let's get ready to get emotional again. But that's Ahmed. I'm Jeff. We will talk to you guys very, very soon. Have a good one.